Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Oh, well, you're not the DM this time. Sit down, Tan Honey.
Oh, I was doing back in my shirt.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Honey Heist, a one-page filler RPG we're doing because it's been 3 weeks since a Havoc Moon and Stigma had an exam today. Today, I'm the DM, and you can't judge me if it sucks because I rolled the plot 5 minutes ago. So with me today, I have Tan Honey, Dune, and TStaffor. So why don't you guys go down the list and tell everyone about your bears? So Tan, would you like to start?
Of course I would. Needless to say, my bear is a very powerful entity. It's called Nosferatu. He's a polar bear. But he's slightly washed up. He used to be a big deal, but he's not so much anymore. But what he does have, even though his muscles have wasted away, he has not let his greatest muscle atrophy, his brain.
And what's his hat?
He's wearing a bowler hat. But you don't know. There's stains of blood on it. Surely it wasn't his to begin with.
Damn. Okay, Dune?
Kind of the new bear on the block, almost a bit of a rookie bear, but my bear is a panda bear named Chump, and he's been recruited from one of the nastiest bear street gangs in the forest to go on this heist. And he's a bit of a thief. That's where his strengths lie. He could fit into small areas that a bear normally can't usually fit in, like air ducts or the sewers. And they usually can, but he can. Trust me, Chumblo's very good at fitting into places that are tiny to get in there and steal things that are valuable, like honey, mainly.
That's right.
That's what these bears are after.
And then TStaffor, would you like to introduce your character?
My character is Sandra. She's the muscle of the group, and although she's a bit smaller, she doesn't let that stop her, as she has a 3-foot fez that she wears constantly. So she is always the tallest.
Nice.
According to her.
My bear's got the cowboy hat. I forgot to mention.
And what type of bear is Sandra?
A sun bear.
Nice. Awesome. So we've got our 3 bears. With the characters introduced, let's jump into this plot I literally just made up. Okay. So, the 3 of you are gathered in a nice coffee shop in downtown Chicago. Basically, you were contacted by an information broker named Brian Piers, who told you that there would be HoneyCon 2022 would be in Chicago this year, and that there would be an opportunity to get your hands on loads of honey. But even more so than honey, what makes this special is that there is something else at the convention this year. That's right. The queen of all bees, once exiled, now returned, has come to the convention center for a farewell tour. If you could manage to kidnap her, you could extort her for an extraordinary ransom, or perhaps just have her be a permanent honey factory if you're fucked up enough for that. So
we're gonna milk.
You're not gonna milk a bee. That's not how that works. So
only
your
if you
two,
have the stomach for it.
Your 2 big goals this at HoneyCon is to get as much honey as you can and try and grab the queen of all bees once exiled, now returned. However, you also know that things are going to be a little tricky. It's not like there's no security at this place. You've heard that there's a CCTV network and electronically locked doors. And furthermore, if you get caught causing trouble, it's likely the cops are going to come and you're going to have to deal with the police. Now, being bears, you all stand out already, so it's already tough for you to get around a busy, metropolitan area. But furthermore, humans can't really understand you. You can communicate with each other freely as if you were able to talk, but you can at most gesture and give off very simple ideas to humans, and that's about all they can understand. But with each other, you can talk normally. So, you're all situated in a coffee shop. The convention center is only a few blocks away, and it's going to open in about an hour. What are you guys talking about? What are you planning, and what do you want to do?
Well, I'm going to first establish myself as the brains by successfully lifting a coffee cup with just my claws and sipping from it without any thumbs at all.
I gasp. The majesty.
You noticed that I picked it up and drank it without any thumbs at all. It's I, Nosferatu the bear.
Wow, boss! That's real impressive, but Do you think you could eat anything that looks like bamboo like I can? Like this fork? And I pick up the fork and I take a big bite out of it.
Okay, roll 2d6 for your bear stat.
Hey,
Okay, you
yeah.
managed to roll your bear stat, so you successfully eat the fork without issue, and you seemingly are uninjured. It's very bizarre because it didn't look that much like bamboo, but seemed to work.
I slam the table and yell, "Let's get back on track. We're here to get the bee."
Of course. With that bee, I could establish myself as the Bear Kaiser.
What?
And when we get that bee, we're gonna milk her for all of her honey.
Of course. Using that will be a game changer. The borders between bird territories will become as water to us.
Man, you're so smart.
Indeed, I was in Mensa, after all.
What's that?
You wouldn't know it. I lived for 10 years among the humans. They thought I was one of them.
Jeez, we're gonna have an easy time with a guy like you on our team.
Of course we
Now, I
will.
stole this pamphlet for the HoneyCon. What is it, HoneyCon?
Yes, HoneyCon 2022.
For HoneyCon 2022. Nosferatu, are you able to read this and see if there's any big speakers here?
Of course I can. Give it to me. I'll use my eyes to decipher the text.
Okay, so you check out the text and you realize there's a couple of pretty big speakers. You see that Zendaya from Spider-Man is going to be there giving a speech, and they also managed to get Tanhoney from Discovering SCP to speak at the event. Aside from that, they've got a couple of exhibits.
From No Way Home.
They've also got a couple of exhibits displaying like history of honey that should have a lot of loads of honey for you to snatch if you can get around security and do so sneakily. And you know there's like a few there's going to be like a few things where like humans bring their own like shitty version of honey, but you know like human honey is not really worth as much as bee honey. It's kind of meh. You know, the bees they raise are merely slaves to the humans, so that they don't have the taste of freedom in them. But there's going to be a bunch of stands like that, and there's like honey related merch, but who cares, you're a bear.
You can't milk a human, but you could definitely milk a bee.
Not yet. The genetic engineering has not yet taken hold, after all.
What the fuck is he talking about?
I've been lurking
Yeah, but
behind
we're
human
done with them.
enterprise for years.
This dude is chewing scenery in the bear RPG. But yeah, so what's your plan? How do you guys want to get in? Oh, sorry, Dune. What were you saying?
Oh, no. It's fine. Continue.
I was just saying, like, what is your guys' plan? You're a couple blocks away. Your bears, just existing, won't call attention to yourself, but naturally, if you don't, like, find a sneaky way and there's going to be a lot of eyes on you, people are going to be scared because you're bears. It's not like animal control will get called in on you in an instant, but ideally, the less attention you can attract on your way there, the better.
Now, I don't know if any of you have been to conventions before, but I've heard that they're very dirty. I think they might have a pretty extensive cleaning crew on this premises.
Interesting. Perhaps we can take place as janitors, the lowliest of all God's creatures.
Hey, watch it.
We could do that, or look, I'm not gonna question your skills in this area. But we could, I'm pretty good at fitting into places, right? Up a human, inside a human.
No.
In the stores.
Not get
What is a
inside
human with a costume awaiting occupation?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, boss.
You're like big bears.
Could slip right in undetected.
It's so
You can fit yourself into a mop bucket?
The human
I'd
form
probably
is so
do that
very
too.
malleable.
So speaking of janitors, you just happen to know that Sanico, one of the janitorial companies around Chicago, they've got a van parked just outside the coffee shop, and they seem to be sitting with like the back doors of the van are open, and they're like sitting around drinking coffee and laughing and saying background NPC stuff like, "Ah, hey, Jimmy."
Convenient.
Can I actually just start walking out this coffee shop and just in the best bear voice I can go, Jimmy?
Sure. So are you trying to scare them as a bear, or are you trying to blend in as a human?
I'm gonna rub my belly like I just enjoyed some Jimmy.
Okay, so you're definitely trying to scare them. So
The kid's name's Jimmy.
you're the muscle, so intimidation is your shtick. I don't remember what sun bears are good at, so I don't know if that applies as well.
Nothing.
Finding honey.
Okay, so you just get... So roll 2d6 and you need to get 3 or under. Okay,
No.
you got a 2. No, you did. You got a 2. You get the lowest of the 2. So you go, Jimmy! And you start... And Sandra starts petting her stomach, and the janitors, like, their eyes go wide. They're like, "Oh my God, she ate Jimmy!" And they all flee from the van at once. And they were all wearing their costumes, but there is at least one empty janitor outfit inside, and there's like a cart worth of supplies. So there's like, a mop bucket, there's like various sprays and like, shit janitors have. There's like a broom, other tools. So there's one janitor outfit one of you could wear, and there's a mop bucket one of you might be able to squeeze in.
Okay. I walk right back into the cafe and say, "Okay, so what's the plan? I just had some fun outside, but how are we getting in?"
Well, that's a van, right?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Those guys are janitors, aren't they?
Well, yeah, you didn't read the side of the van? You just did that for fun?
I just had to get some scaring out of my system.
What's wrong with you? Love this. Yeah.
My friends, a simpler solution presents itself. I will take their identification and poses them online.
On the internet?
There is a laptop in the van, but it doesn't have connection to any Wi-Fi right now. And it's like a very tiny Chromebook, so if you're not careful, you'll probably break it with your bear claws.
With this, I have it all. Instagram, Snapchat, the Facebook. You can do some real damage with this.
So you guys are going to move into the van? They do seem to have left the keys in there.
Either of you guys good at driving?
No. Everything else.
I guess I could fit behind a steering wheel, No, I've never driven anything in my life, but I'll give it a try.
I've never driven, but I am driven.
This guy.
Who said that?
Sorry.
That was the voice of God.
Okay, so should I say Jumblo is in the front, gonna drive, and Nosferatu and Sandra get in the back?
Yeah, I'd like to try and help Nosferatu with how to sweep.
Okay. So how do you train Nosferatu in how to sweep with a broom? I'm not gonna make you roll for that. You can just teach him.
Do you know how to sweep?
Sweep? The work of the common bear. I am of nobility.
I don't mean labor. I mean sweeping the legs.
Of course. I attack to demonstrate.
He clumsily rolls his washed-up fat ass around in like kind of a leg sweep, but it takes
Dark Souls rolling around.
Yeah, it's like a Dark Souls fat roll.
Perfection. I have no more to teach you.
Behold, the wrath of gods.
Hey, you're knocking the van around. I'm trying to drive up here. You're going left and right. Hey.
Just compensate with your own maneuvers.
I don't even know where I'm going.
Oh my god. Okay. Jumblo, roll me a d6 criminal for driving to the convention center. You need a 3 or less.
Oh.
No, it's just
No.
1d6, but either way you failed.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, you only get 2d6 when it's your specialty. Okay, so Jumblo is trying to drive, and he not only doesn't know what he's going, but he also realizes he doesn't know how to drive, so he just keeps his foot on the gas, and it keeps getting faster and faster, and you crash at like 80 miles per hour into a building. And everyone, like the whole car goes, and everyone like shakes around and tumbles comedically, and the engine is totally busted, the car is totaled, Jumblo yourself, you feel very frustrated at your inability to execute this criminal role, and you lose 1 stat in criminal and gain 1 in bear, so you feel a little bit more feral than you did before.
Damn it! I don't even know where I'm going. All these buildings. You good enough there, boss?
Use your non-feral instincts to read the signs. What's wrong?
You made it a total of like...
They all look the same. The humans, they built things in squares, and they put colors on them, and they all look the same. I don't know which one I'm supposed to go in.
I stand up, I get to my feet, I brush myself off, and I say, well, boys, as I lower my glasses onto my face, it looks like we're walking.
You ursine slime!
Hey, where'd you get glasses from?
Hey, this guy's got glasses.
That's part of the janitor uniform, right? Glasses.
It's not, but you check the pocket of the janitor uniform, and there was a pair of like really god-awful sunglasses. One of the lenses is cracked. And you notice the name on the uniform is Jimmy.
Where did we crash?
You crashed like maybe 2,000 feet away from... The coffee shop is still in eyesight. You're barely closer to the convention center. Oh. And already cars are like honking horns and like swerving around, and people are on their phones.
Is the convention center like right 2 blocks away?
It's
from
like
the
2 blocks away. It wasn't even that far. You didn't have to drive that well.
No, act natural.
So what are you guys going to do? Are you just going to wait here? Are you going to try and sneak off? Are you just going to walk normally to the convention center? Is when are you going to put on the uniform, etc.?
As far as I'm aware, I'm fairly sure like a specialty of sun bears is that they can walk on hind legs more easily than a lot of other types of bears.
Probably, but all bears in Honey Heist can walk on 2 legs, so you guys can do that as you
Okay.
want.
It says so on the wiki.
I didn't read the full page, I guess.
It's not on the page, but the image shows bears standing on 2 legs, so I just assumed it was allowed.
If you watched the 30-minute lore video that we
Honey Heist!
Before we started recording.
All right. So yeah, what are you guys doing? How are you dealing with the situation?
Well, I'm ready just to walk up to those janitor doors and head on in.
Okay.
I'm punching the car. I'm feeling feral.
Is anyone gonna don the janitor outfit or take any of the supplies, or are you just gonna try and like bullshit at your janitors and be like, that's our car, we
I
crashed?
got the janitor outfit on. I got those broken shades, those blue overalls.
So the janitor's outfit like doesn't really fit. Like the pants only come up to midway of your thighs, and like the shirt like maybe barely covers the top part of your torso. And of course you can't don the janitor hat because of your enormous fez. But like you wear it just enough that if you succeed in like a criminal role, you could convince someone you're human, and enough that like for some reason passerby would be like, oh, why is that janitor with 2 bears? But it's not a disguise that might not hold up to closer scrutiny. What are the other 2 of you doing? Is anyone like trying to hide? Are you guys doing anything else, or are you just going to walk with Sandra?
I mean, I guess we'll walk now. I'm done taking my anger out.
All right. So you guys walk to the convention center and attract a lot of attention because they don't know why there are 2 bears with a janitor. People are like mumbling, they're scared. There's a lot of attention as you get up. And eventually you reach the front doors, and there's a long line to get into HoneyCon because it's about to start in like 30-ish minutes. And you can see there's like 2 buff bodyguards in suits with like those little wire things in their ears with the cords that go down, like waiting at the doors.
Are there frequently cosplayers at HoneyCon?
There are a lot of humans dressed as like bees, which is really awkward because bees in this universe are like humanoid bees, so it kind of feels like cultural appropriation, but the humans don't really care. So they've got like bee antennas, a couple of them. A lot of them, like, Disney bounding. They kind of do something like that where they wear black and yellow, but there's not like any honey or famous bee related characters.
Wait, so just to clarify, if bees are humanoid, like, is this queen bee we're kidnapping, can she, like, talk with humans? Like, is she just, like, a
Yeah, she can
species?
be... You guys can talk with her as well.
Big is she? Like, human-sized?
Yeah. Well, smaller than
like
you guys, but, like,
from-
humanish sized.
She's like that bee from Mario Galaxy. Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, that seems way bigger than what we're talking about, but sure.
All right, so you're at the front doors. What are you going to do now?
Do you think we can... I asked the question about cosplayers. Do you think we can maybe get in posing as bears? We're cosplaying bears?
Oh my god, it's next level.
It would be... You might be able to, but it would be considered incredibly offensive. And you would probably get canceled on Twitter. Well, bears frequently terrorize bees for their honey, so it would be... Even if you're not really bears, people would think, like, these guys are kind of shitty.
What is this world?
Could just Nosferatu do that? And then...
it would be like if you went to, like, a heritage thing for, like... Actually, there's no good real-world example to use that isn't, like, spicy. It's just offensive. You're not...
I was like...
There's not supposed to be... There's not supposed to be bees... there's not supposed to be bears at a bee place. That's why you're committing a crime right now. You're stealing honey, all right?
Well, it was just that we were birds in human society, and that was dangerous.
No, you guys are special. There are bears that are like you, but not many. You're like special bears. You've gone beyond beardom.
We've gained the criminal.
I'm throwing away my morality, Jojo.
Beyond beardom?
So if you want, you can try that, but it probably won't be much better than literally walking in as bears. Like, people are going to see you as a threat. Security might tighten up. You will get a lot of attention, etc.
I mean, we're pretty strong, though, right? Like,
I mean, you're bears, sure, but if the police come, they have guns and tranks and stuff.
I'm pretty sure a bear can tank a bullet.
Do you want to take those odds? I mean, do you think this, as a TTRPG, where nothing bad can happen to you? I don't know what you want me to say.
I think Darnell's kind of a pussy, and he won't do any damage to us.
Okay, a car runs over Nosferatu, crippling his legs permanently.
I'm putting my hand down in favor of just walking in there and seeing what happens.
You're supposed to be criminals with a plan.
We can do it like Star Wars. We're like, one of us is disguised as like a janitor, but like secretly a security guard undercover as a janitor, and the other two are like his bird prisoners that tried to sneak in.
Oh yeah.
It's like, where are you taking this thing?
All right, so you're gonna
rubbish.
So Sandra's gonna walk the two of you up to the front, pretending to be janitor, and then to the guards, being like, "Hey, I'm actually a guard, and I caught these guys." And then you're gonna take them not to prison, but inside the convention center.
Yes.
All right.
There's a prison cell in the detainment hall.
So
now, okay, hold on. I want to make a slight change to that. I don't want to say I'm a guard. I just want to say I'm a janitor taking them to the guards.
Okay.
Because I know the backwards enough as a janitor. I mean, to like the front desk that I'd just be like, well, yeah, I know the direction to go. I'm just going to take them.
So do you like tie something around your two companions? Because like, if they're just loose bears walking next to you, people are going to be like,
well, I've got my hands held in front of me, like, together, and I'm looking glum.
Okay, so you can, like, tie up their hands?
I scout around for, like, maybe a, on the ground, like, one of those things that they sell, like, what are those things that the turtles always catch their necks in?
Like the plastic crap for soda cans?
Yeah, I'm going to get one of those and stick my hands in it.
You do so. A couple people actually feel bad for you instead of terrified at the walking bears. They're like, oh no, nature is in pain because of humanity's mistakes.
Overall, heartbreakingly.
There's 6 holes in those. So can Nosferatu also get his hands in that same?
Yeah, you catch them both in there. It's even more sad. They're like, oh no, that bear family got caught.
Okay, then I'm gonna come up to the front desk or like the entrance people and be like, "Hey, just doing my normal cleanup outside to set some stuff up, but I found these two hooligans who are coming in to try and wreck this convention. We gotta lock them down."
So that's what you say, and that's what your bears hear, but the humans are like, here, "Rawr, rawr, rawr, rawr." You like generally gesture something to them along the lines of like you're bringing prisoners, like, and you like point to the cuffs, and they look at each other very confused. And I need you to roll me a criminal. You need to get 3 or under. Okay.
Oh, phew.
So, for whatever reason, they're like, I don't know why you didn't take them to animal control, but I guess maybe you could put them in the room where we put the shoplifters until you could call a proper authority. And they let you in, and you get inside HoneyCon before, and everyone else is pissed off about it because HoneyCon doesn't open for another like 20 minutes. So like, why you let them in? And they're like, hey. This is HoneyCon business. And everyone shuts up.
It's your HoneyCon business?
Yeah, and you're successfully in. So the only people in right now are the vendors, and there are like a couple different, like, open... it's not a door, but like when there's just an open space in the shape of a door, like along the walls leading to other hallways with other exhibits. Success, you're inside. However, there's neither any honey nor the queen in this like open entrance main hallway. There's just vendors sitting around with their like shit human honey, and it's like tiny sample doses.
Nosferatu, did the pamphlet I gave you have a map?
Let me take a look. Cast my eyes upon its meagle dreams.
All
what
right.
do I say?
Roll me a...
I'm so smart, I'm creating my own language.
You are brains, so roll me 2d6 criminal for map analysis. You need to get 3 or under. Okay, so you're able to figure out the map. So you deduce that there are 6 separate rooms. Or 6 separate exhibits out from the main hall. So one of them is just like going to be a boring lecture on the history of honey. 3 of them actually have honey in them. One of them is like where supposedly the Queen of All Bees, once exiled, now returned is in. And the last one is like the security room / where they keep shoplifters and shit and like cameras.
There are those rooms. You heard my monologue, right?
And all the honey rooms are on the right, and then the first room on the left is the lecture room, then the second room is the queen room, and then the last room on the left is like the security room.
So where are we going, boss?
One other thing, however, if you want to do anything criminal, you notice there's a lot of CCTV cameras all around this place. So you're gonna have to be careful.
Okay, I'm the only one who actually is disguised right now. I'd like to sneak in to the Queen Bee's holding room.
Okay, so you
see if I can clean up in there.
You try to get into the queen's room. However, there's an electronically locked door barred with like solid steel. Like you might be able to tear through it as a bear, but even for you, it would be really tough. And there seems to be some sort of like card reader.
I have an idea.
Janitors wouldn't be allowed in there to clean up? It's so dirty.
Well, usually a janitor would probably have a card, but unfortunately there was not one in your uniform, as Jimmy wasn't there on duty today.
I have an idea. These cameras, they are connected to some kind of central hoob. We must destroy the security room to proceed.
Yeah, I kind of like the sound of that. Destroying the security room. Getting rid of that hoob. Yeah, I'm all for it. Where is it?
Why don't we just sniff for electricity?
So, from the map where the security room is, and you go there, but once again you're faced with the same problem of a similarly electronically locked door. However, there is a CCTV camera above the door, like there is with all the doors.
I'm getting fed up with all these electronically locked doors. I just want to smash the handle a bit.
Okay, roll bear 2d6 for bear. You need to get a 3 or under. Okay, so you start denting the steel. Boom, boom. And you start to manage to punch your way through the door. However, the cameras see this and immediately start sending out calls for the police to come. But you do manage to bust open the door just enough that you can like pry it open and get in. There are 4 cops there, and they're already like unholstering their sidearms. Now, freeze! Rogue janitor!
He's activated.
And you can like already hear police sirens in the distance.
Oh my god, that's some fast response time.
Yeah, CCTV, man. They
were prepped.
They hit like the emergency call police button.
Oh,
Look,
can I use my brains to like analyze their body language and determine their weaknesses?
A fucking MMO character.
Conscious Bear.
Roll 2d6 for criminal. You need 3 or under. That's so funny. Okay, so you take a deep breath, close your eyes for a moment, and then your eyes widen, and like you put out your like intelligence, and like all the world before you is scanned. Like in your mind palace, you can see like blue electronic scanning lines running over the scene around you, and it's like humans, weak points, head, heart, and like it shows like close-ups of the organs inside of them. And
I can tell it's beating quite fast. You must be afraid.
Those are their vitals. But they by now they've pulled out their pistols and they're about to open fire if you don't surrender, flee, or do something.
Nosferatu, what did we talk about in the van?
Figured it out. The weaknesses on our heads and our hearts. They're not as invincible as you may think.
I'm going to run up because I'm assuming since I'm like the least bulky of these bears, I probably got some agility on me.
Okay.
I'm going to run up and try to rip this dude's head off.
Okay.
Would they roar at the same time to like startle them to give them like an opening?
There's no help action like D&D, but sure, you roar.
No, I just mean because I'll roar, they'll jump because they don't expect me to
You
roar.
spook them, but it doesn't give them a mechanical advantage. They're oh shit, that one's roaring. Dune, roll 1d6. You need to get 4 or less.
Okay, so this will determine whether or not I remove this man's head.
Yeah, you're rolling bear.
Okay,
so you go and you go, and then one of them shoots you in the knee, and like your knee crumples to the ground and you fall awkwardly. Like you're not in any like vital condition, but you're struggling to move now. And after failing at being a bear,
That's subjective.
when the plan...
I think he did very well. He stood by his friends. He was a trooper.
When the plan fails, you move criminal to bear. When something you do goes off without a hitch, you move bear into criminal. I've been doing this wrong. Whoops. So you get angrier again, and once again you feel a point move from criminal to bear. And
damn it!
And you start to feel you feel the wilderness calling your ancestors who call you to maul and tear and eat, and you feel if you flip out one more time you're going to go completely feral and lose your sanity. You can feel like the foam starting to come from your mouth. Your friends can see it. This ancestral gene.
You mustn't go feral. You'll lose your sanity.
Oh my
Remember,
knee.
you can once each. You can like put 1 point and one to another by you can put one from bear to criminal by doing a flashback scene when you and the other bears are planning, or you can put a criminal into bear when you eat a load of honey. So like you can try to do that as well, or just succeed at tasks overhead.
After he's failed that, I want to try and sweep the legs. Can I do a little spin move on the ground?
Sure. Roll 2d6. You need to get 3 or less in your bear.
If this
now I know how to do it right.
I execute my plan, which will
All right.
hitch.
So Sandra, seeing Jumbo go to the ground, runs forward and does like sort of a disco leg sweep, and 3 of the 4 guards instantly fall to the ground. And then you feel a glint in your eyes and you go, humans, the weakest creatures. I have the truest intellect. And 1 point goes from bear to criminal as you feel a little bit more criminal, a little bit too human. And you start to feel that bear sensation slip away.
One guard left then, is that right?
Yeah, there's 1 guard left, and he's
I know
ready
I
to
can take
fire.
care of him.
Okay.
Because when I scanned his weaknesses, I also know his psychological weaknesses. I've been sketching the whole time.
That's not what I
my
told you
sketch
for
of him.
sure.
I lift up my sketch of him. It has all the features he's most like, insecure about magnified to the greatest degree to break him psychologically.
Roll 2d6 criminal. You need 3 or under.
Oh.
Okay, you did it. So you hold up the thing, and it's like he's got like he's got a really fat ass and really scrawny arms, and like you've made his face even more asymmetrical. And he's like, no, it's not. And he falls to his knees and starts crying, and you feel the devilish brains inside of you. You feel less like a bear and more like a cruel human, as you now have 2 in bear and 4 in criminal. So yeah, the other 3 have all tripped and spilled their firearms, which you easily can crush underfoot, and then the 4th one is in a sadness coma. He's like crying in tears.
I look down at him as a pass. You needn't be discouraged. You are only human after all.
Is there a way we could like do something to these security alarms to make it look like it's a false alarms going off?
You can attempt. You can try to hit the figure out if there's a false alarm button and hit it.
Okay, I'll try that.
All right, roll me a 1d6 criminal. You need 4 or less.
Oof. Nope.
All right, so you try and you're like patting your big bear arm around, and you accidentally pat too hard and break the system, so it's unable to be changed now. So it's basically locked in. The cops are coming, and you feel frustration rise up in you, and you lose 1 in criminal and gain 1 in bear, so you're back to 3-3. And the system is totally busted now.
Am I like hobbling because of this bullet that I've been my body has taken up?
So thankfully, it's a little pistol bullet, so like it temporarily
your body will absorb the metal to become stronger.
It temporarily like forced you onto one knee. You're starting to get up. You have a little bit of a limp, but it's not like enough to like seriously slow you down. But if you were to take more damage, it could be bad. But you are feeling extremely feral, very close to losing your mind entirely.
Can I use my feral bear muscles to like squeeze the bullet out of my knee?
Sure. Roll 1d6, and you need 5 or less. And keep in mind, if you fail, you're going to go insane.
That's the plan.
I mean, when you go insane, you're like out of the game. Just so you know. Oh my god. All right. So you try to squeeze the bullet out, but you just tear up your leg and hurt more. And finally, you snap mentally. And you guys see the spark of intelligence go out of his eyes. He's just an animal now. And he starts smashing shit, and like he bites a human and starts shaking their arm like a dog. He's not the Jumblo you once knew.
I've become...
I will say, for the sake of Dune not being out of the session right after it starts, you brought with you 1 syringe that can return sanity back, but that's all you have, and I'm only doing this.
I'm one of the humans to turn them into a bear.
You don't have that. I'm just saying this so Dune doesn't have to be out for the rest of the game and bored. But this is like your one.
It's a syringe of honey.
No, because honey makes you more bear-like. It's a syringe of coffee, actually. It's coffee in like a medical syringe.
Oh, okay.
Because Dune didn't do the flashback, even though I told him you could do the flashback. Do you use it, or do you just let your friend be a mindless zombie bear?
I'll use it. He's a useless pawn. A useful pawn, sorry, I meant.
You stab the coffee into his shoulder, and you feel faint intelligence return to you, Dune, as the coffee enters your veins, and you're back to 5 bear, 1 criminal, and you like realize you're like chewing like a half like already eaten human arm in your mouth, and you think, oh, how feral of me.
Oh, I'm such a feral little guy.
How feral of me. Oh, man. Sorry about that. I lost a little bit of myself back there. It happens when I get into fights. That's why I like to sneak around inside air vents instead of take things head on.
Speaking of air vents, you do notice there is an air vent above the security console you might be able to climb into. But you have to keep in mind, the cops are on their way, and they're going to be here in like 5 minutes.
Fear not. The same thing has happened to me before. I believe they call it the Tunguska event now.
What?
There were no survivors.
Then why does anyone call it that if no one knows? Nosferatu just bullshits everything. Nothing's really says.
Question me not, God, or I shall answer you.
He just read this all in a book like fucking Sam.
I read it once in a book.
But yeah, what's the plan now? Are you guys just gonna try and grab the queen and run? Just get a bunch of honey, try and climb the vents? What y'all do?
I mean, I could, climb in the vents. I don't know if these other bears are nimble enough for it.
I will tell you, you're a thief, so you get 2d6, but your criminal stat is 1 right now, which means you need a 1. And if you don't, you're going to go insane again. So maybe you want to have that coffee flashback, so you have at least.
Okay, yeah. All right. So the coffee flashbacks raise the criminal stat by how much? By 1?
Yeah, it puts 1 from bear to criminal, and you have to describe what you planned with your boy. Like, you have to remember your criminal roots, like what you were planning back at that coffee shop.
Okay, so I think really hard, and I try to remember what was happening in the coffee shop. And I remember Nosferatu talking about how much he wants to milk that queen bee. And
no, this isn't something that's happened. You have to describe a flashback that happened off screen.
Yeah, this is what happened off screen.
Oh, I thought he said that actually.
No, I'm the only one here that's talking about milking this bee.
Oh, I see. That's how he got it in his head. It's Nosferatu brought it up.
Yeah. Nosferatu was talking about milking the bee, and then I remember I got up from the table and I went over to the very terrified waitress that's at the coffee shop, and I ordered 5 more coffees because I'm a bear and I could probably drink a lot of coffee.
That's
and
true.
I need to.
She gave you shit for it too because you didn't say like venti or grande because you're a bear. You made noises, so she's like, "Ugh, commoner." She got your coffee.
Yeah, I don't know. She just handed me a big pitcher of coffee.
Yeah. So you remember your criminal roots a bit, and you have 4 in bear, 2 in criminal. So if you still want to try this with 2d6, you need to get 2 or lower. Do you still want to give it a shot?
Yeah. That's ridiculous. How many flashbacks can I have?
You cannot chain them in a row.
Okay.
You're just going to need to succeed in some plans to get something back. I mean, is there anything else you guys want to try, maybe?
I'm confident in me smashing that door open. I'm ready to get that queen bee.
All right. So you guys head back to the door, and you're going to just try and break it open like you did with the security door?
Yeah.
All right. Roll 2d6 for your bear. You need 3 or less. So
5.
You try and smash, but you just can't get in. These doors are tough. You barely got in the first time, and this one's just repelling you. And you actually chip your claws a little bit, and it kind of hurts.
No.
And you feel the frustration rise up in you. Like, this is bullshit. I'm the muscle. And 1 point from criminal goes into bear, so you have 4 bear, 2 criminal, just like Jumblo. And the police are almost here. You've got probably 1 more try at something. Hello?
I'm trying to think. I'm thinking.
He's racking his brains. I mean, I don't know why you guys didn't just try to get a key card.
We don't play that.
Well, yeah, the security people. Why wouldn't they have key cards?
Yeah, you're like in the room.
That is our takes. He does not sneak.
Is so the police that we dispatched they did not have key cards on them? Can we?
You didn't check. You just tore them up when you went feral. Yeah, if you search the bodies, indeed they do have key cards.
Oh, look at that! It's a lot easier.
I see. It is a lot easier.
So Nosferatu, you fumble with the key card and you manage to open it, and you can see there the queen bee. She's got a little crown on her head, sort of sitting down, leafing through a pamphlet, and she goes, "Huh? I didn't think the convention was starting yet." And she sees like 2 bears and a janitor, and she's like, "What are you doing here, janitor? Call the guards!"
I already have.
I step aside, indicating the unconscious guards and the one that got chewed up. If you have any words for them, now's the time.
She pulls out her stinger, and stinger is an acronym that I don't know the words for. That's actually a taser. And she tries to shoot. She tries to shoot Nosferatu with the taser. So Nosferatu, I need you to roll a d6. You need 2 or less with your bear to shrug off the damage. So you rolled 2d6, which you're not allowed to do. However, the first dice was a 1, so you succeed. So you feel the shock, but
between 2 fingers.
Okay, so you catch it between 2 fingers, and there's still a shock, but like you're so intent on looking smug that you use your sheer willpower to overcome the electrical damage to your nervous system.
Fear is the mind killer.
And she just like stares baffled at the fact that you've caught the taser, and it drops to the floor uselessly.
Electricity, the ambrosia of the divine Horus.
Is there a like a bag in this room or something I could use to?
You guys did bring 3 cartoonish burglar bags with you for stealing.
Oh,
money.
we did. Okay, all right.
Yeah, she could fit in one of them.
It's like the fucking SpongeBob Patrick.
Okay,
get in.
Not the other ones.
What do you mean?
All 3 around you.
You said you could only fit in one of them.
No, I said she could fit in one of them. Like you have 3, like so you still have 2 for honey.
Okay.
You can fit about 10 loads of.
Choice. You don't know which one.
You can fit about like
I thought you meant
20 loads of honey in each bag, or the queen. Like that's the relevant size. A load of honey is like a jar.
That we packed different sizes because we didn't know how big.
No, you just have like 3 cartoony burlap burglar bags.
All right, I'm gonna run up to her. I'm gonna be like, "I gotcha," and then I'm gonna like try to bag her.
All right, so you are a thief, so you're stealing her. So I'll give you 2d6, and you're rolling bear for your strength. So you're gonna need 2. You're gonna need to get a 4 lower on 2d6.
Okay.
Oh my god. So you try to bag her, but she nimbly dodges, like she dodge rolls like Dark Soul, and your bag just goes over the chair, and you're bent over. And once again, you feel frustration surge through your veins as you lose 1 in criminal and gain another in bear. So you're 5 bear, 1 criminal. And you start to feel that feralness coming back. And she goes, "Dumb bears will never catch I, the queen of all bees, once exiled, now returned." And she unsheathes 2 long swords from her back that were hidden there before from the camera.
Sorry, boss. She had more ice cream than I thought she did.
Yeah, you see a Dark Soul health bar appear.
Don't worry, guys. I sweep the legs.
All right, roll 2d6 for muscle. You need 4 or less.
Have wings.
All right, so you go forward, and she charges at you and she like crosses the swords, and it's like where the 2 silhouettes cross in a samurai movie. And for a second, it like looks like you got cut, but then you see she like, even though it's 5 seconds later, for some reason, only now did she trip after the legs are sweep, and the swords go like sliding to the other side of the room.
No, they just fucking shatter for no reason.
Yeah, they shatter as they hit the wall for some reason. And you lose 1 in bear and gain 1 in criminal for your plan succeeding, so you're back to 3-3, Sandra. So yeah, she is on the ground, and Nosferatu, the only bear that's not preoccupied, manages to nab her in her bag. And you've got her stuffed in the burlap, and she's like struggling, but she's not going to be able to get out.
Welcome to your new home, freak.
The police are almost here. We should probably hide in the vents or something.
You do hear the sirens are close, and you can hear people they're coming into the venue, and they're like, "Everyone, get down! Police! Police! Chicago PD!" And there's still honey to be snatched, but I mean, if you're willing to leave with just the queen, you can try to escape now.
I mean,
we gotta get out of here. We gotta go up the vents.
Yeah.
Imposters? What the fuck? You're gonna put her in like the Blue Bear prison? Neverwire?
To your new home, freak. What?
Alright, so are you guys gonna try and flee, or are you gonna try and like stealthily get a little bit of honey before you go, or are you gonna try and like fight these cops so you have more time? What's the plan?
I'm running. I'm a criminal with no loyalty. I'm bailing on my team here. I'm running up those air vents.
Oh, so you're not even trying to plan with them. You're just leaving on your own. All right, what about the other two of you? What are you doing?
I'm following up the air vents. I don't want to leave through the air vents yet, but I want to get into the air vents.
All right, what are you doing, Nosferatu?
My idea, I'm going to use my big brain one more time. I'm going to pretend to be the bee queen so they don't realise that I shouldn't be here. I'm going to pick up her broadswords and like hold them possessively.
I assume you're going to like reach into the bag and take her crown and put it on your head?
Yeah.
All right, so the other two of you hop into the vents. So
That was my true intention all along.
Who's leading, Dune or TStaffor?
I'm assuming that I would be faster and I'd run out.
All right,
I'm chasing after.
You're going to need to roll 2d6 and get a 1 on one of your die.
Okay. I'm rolling. My luck has been terrible with these rolls all game, so.
Son. So, Dune, you try to climb into the vent, and you just fall back down on your ass.
Oh my god.
Sandra, if you want to try to climb, you can. It's a 1d6 for you. You need 3 or less. So you actually get into the vents without trouble, but Jumbo, you feel...
I need to respec my bear. This build is not working.
You see Nosferatu, that spark go out, and there's no coffee syringe this time. And you're dressed like a bee, and, well, let's just say Jumblo's looking for some bee milk.
Jumblo, you fool!
I don't know what I'm doing.
You slime!
Queen bee! For me!
Hey,
right.
throw the bee Nosferatu! I yell from leaning out the vent.
Yeah, Nosferatu, are you going to try and throw up the queen bee to Sandra?
Yes, I will.
All right, you waff it up there, and Sandra... actually, Sandra, can you roll 2d6 bear? You need 3 or less to like, actually hold it and not fall out of the vent. Okay, yeah. You grab it, and you both climb into the vent without problem. But now you are faced with both the cops coming and a feral bear in front of you. And right as Jumbo's getting ready to lunge at you, Nosferatu, a squad of, like, a half dozen cops burst into the room, all holding pistols, except for one. He's actually got a shotgun, which is actually a decently lethal weapon to a bear. What do you do?
Also, just quickly to confirm, since I successfully crawled into the vent and successfully caught it, am I at 1 criminal or 1 bear and 5 criminal?
Oh, that's right. Yes, you're at 1 bear, 6 criminal, or 5 criminal. And as you feel that, there's a little thing. You feel your bears start to go away. You feel more human, more aware, and you almost feel you're starting to get the hints of like, what if I just fucking betrayed Nosferatu? Like you're almost there. If you go a little bit criminal, you might just say fuck your allies, but you still retained your like bear loyalty for now. Yes, you are at 1 bear, 5 criminal. Meanwhile, Jumbo, you're feral. Feel free to play that out as you want. But there are like 6 cops. One of them's got a shotgun. What are you guys doing? Nosferatu and
my
Jumbo.
My eyes are bugging out. I'm just like looking all over the place. I'm foaming at the mouth, and my sights are right now set on what I think is Queen Bee, but you know it's Nosferatu. And as the cops burst down the door and start screaming, I crane my head backwards way like quicker than a bear actually is able to do, and like I'm foaming at the mouth, just salivating, and my claws are out, elongated. It seems like they've gotten sharper and longer since I've gone completely feral. I lunge at the cops. I just go crazy, start tearing, using my teeth.
Sure. What are you doing, Nosferatu?
I'm going to secure the crown around my head to confirm to them that I am the bee queen and point at this rabid bear. As if, like, guards, get them. I don't say that, though, because I'll be ordering there.
So, well, don't worry. Just like how humans can't understand bears, humans can't quite understand bees either. It's sort of similar. So you do like the gesture. Okay,
Yeah.
so you gesture, you point, and they're like, we'll save you, Queen of all beasts, once exile now return. And Jumbo tears through about half of them extremely violently. But two of them pump Jumbo full of pistol bullets. Unfortunately, another one hits the knee, and he goes down again. And then the one with the shotgun presses it right to his heart, and boom! It's like the world goes slow for a moment as Jumbo, the rookie thief that looked up to you so much, Nosferatu, slumps down to the ground dead in front of you.
Can you confirm that I at least got to tear up one of these cops like a phone book? Like
You
pick them up and just whip.
Oh yeah, you killed like half of them. One of them is literally in half.
Good.
Jumbo's
And now
dead.
I fall to the ground, placing my bare claw hand over my heart, and I cough up my last wad of blood, and I let out my final roar.
And with that,
And then all goes silent.
no more. The remaining cops rush over to you and they go, "Are you alright, Queen? Did he hurt you?"
I shake my head.
And they go, "Alright, we're gonna secure the perimeter. Make sure there's no more bear thieves around here." They say the word like spittle, and you know it's almost enraging considering watching your friend die. How they treat you like animals, and they leave the room and leave you to yourself for a moment. Sandra is still waiting in the vents with the queen secured. What do you do, Nosferatu?
I'm gonna walk out.
You just walk out of the room.
Yeah.
You just leave.
You don't even meet up with your teammate. You're just like, okay. So you walk out. Where do you go?
I'm going to the coffee shop, of course. My cappuccino should be just about done now.
Oh my god!
I'd like to climb backwards through the vents up to like the roof
Yeah, you do
and
so.
try and get down from there
All right, you're on the roof.
and meet
So
up at the coffee shop.
to climb down, you're gonna need your bear.
No.
Yeah. So I'm gonna need you to roll a 2d6, and you need a 1.
Okay, but can I be trying to walk like into the alley and just kind of walk off the roof?
You just
Like,
literally
fully
want to
just-
rock off the roof without any climbing.
Rock up the rock.
Yeah, just like fall off the roof.
Okay.
Fully just like accept my fate of falling.
Sure. Roll 1d6. You need a 1. So you fall. You fall and you kind of snap your legs a bit, and it's extremely painful. But you're down, and I won't make. And as you feel frustration at failure, 1 point goes from criminal to bear, so you're now 2-4. And you've got the queen bee. She's somehow alive because you like took the weight of the fall, but you're not really sure how you're gonna move. The cops haven't noticed you yet, but like your legs are shattered and Nosferatu is nowhere to be seen. Are you just gonna try and power through the pain, or are you gonna try and like what's your plan now?
Is there any like how long have we been having this? Is like the convention like starting now then?
So the convention was supposed to start until like 3 squad cars rolled up and started invading the building and claimed there was like dangerous criminals inside.
Okay.
So it seems it's been
if it's
forestalled.
canceled then would the janitors still be kept on duty or would they be heading home now in their janitor van?
They'd probably be heading home in their van, except your van's crashed into a building 2 blocks away. You walked here, remember?
Well, is that the only janitor van? They only had 3 janitors for the whole.
I'll be kind
Convention?
to you. There's another Sanico van that seems to be empty right now, but you can see like 2 janitors walking towards it, and they're like, "Oh, I can't believe this. We better still get paid."
Well, I want to go and like try and just like hide in the back part of the van. Not even hide, but just like as a janitor, go and sit in the back part of the van.
Sure. So you sit in the back part of the van, and the 2 of them come in. They go, "Wait a minute. Do you hear something?" And the queen bee starts to try and like shout, like, "Help me, I'm captured," but you quickly like muffle the bag. But they hear it and they look behind and they see you. And you know, you're like, your legs are pretty fucked up. You have to like crawl, so you know you can't fight. And for a second, you're like, all is lost. But then they go, "Oh, Jimmy, I thought you were at a wedding this weekend. Well, when did you get here?"
I went and canceled. Rawr.
They're like, oh, tell me about it. And they start the car and they drive you back to Sanico. And you are now at janitor headquarters. It's a giant building. It's the wealthiest company in all of Illinois. It's like a modern skyscraper that has like 50 floors. And guys come in, they open the back, and they're like, all right, you coming?
Now I have a question. They've been cleaning a honey convention. Are any of their mops a little soaked with that sweet, sweet nectar?
No, because the convention was canceled before it started.
Well, I say, patch things up with engaged,
And try and walk away.
Oh, yeah, sure, man. You know what? We'll tell the boss that you had a family emergency. And they go into the building, and you slowly crawl your way across the street back to the coffee shop. It's a really sad sight. And Nosferatu, you're sipping your cappuccino, which you ordered to perfection. You knew how everything would go, of course, and you had it prepared for this time. And
I like lift up the mat on the coffee table, and my plans for underneath it. It's like word for word what happens.
Okay. And you look, and Nosferatu is like crawling in shattered legs and has the burlap sack with the bee.
Thank you. You did well. Put it down wherever.
And I lie on my back.
Would you like to perhaps use your brains to set the bones or something?
Absolutely.
All right.
You gotta have your guy on me now.
Roll me 2d6 criminal. You need 4 or less. You try to set the bones, but you just break them worse, and one of the legs is backwards now.
Alright, I always skipped medical school.
And you lose 1 in criminal and gain 1 in bear, so you're 3-3. Sandra, the pain is enormous, but he tried.
I mean, we've done it, right? We got the queen bee.
Absolutely. Let me just open and check she's still in there.
You open, and she goes, help, help, someone help! And you close it. And everyone's like, did you guys hear something?
No, you didn't hear something.
They just shrug and go back to drinking coffee and flirting. Alright. Well, you've done it. You've kidnapped the queen of all bees, once exiled, now returned. You didn't get any honey, so the profits are a lot lower than they could have been, but you at least got one of your goals.
We can use the queen to get ample honey, which we can use to become Kaiser.
Although, something's odd. You don't remember seeing the convention organizer. And when you flip back through the panel, you see a familiar name. Wait, Brian Pierce? Isn't that the guy who gave you the information? And then all of a sudden, an old man stands up from the table nearby, and he goes, so, you did as I've asked. I see your thief is dead, Nosferatu. Your muscle, broken, crippled. You may still have your brains, you old has-been, but I have brains and brawn and spades. Now that you've taken all the heat and done all the hard work, I'll be taking the queen for myself. And he tries to grab the burlap sack from you.
It's been so long since I've had to be a bear. I thought I was washed up, but I guess it's time to dry out. And I leap up on him to maul he.
Roll 1d6, you need 3 or less. Alright, he like, foolish, and he tries to do like a cool anime bat you away, but it seems that he's forgotten you're a literal bear, and he goes, wait, what? And you literally maul him to death, and it's extremely brutal and violent and gory, and he dies in the middle of the coffee shop. And you lose 1 in bear.
Stand up.
Gain 1 in criminal.
Check, please.
And over. How do you guys want to? Do you guys want to like describe an epilogue, or is that it?
I want to know: do I become the Kaiser? Do I fulfill my ambitions?
Whenever I run Honey Heist, I always let the players describe how the epilogue goes.
Oh, I want to just say, it looks like I was the one, and I flipped down my shades now from my eyes down to my chin, who's got her legs swept.
I guess you could say that. So,
I think from heaven, like a JoJo character upon death, I'm going to appear over Nosferatu, and I'm going to shed a single tear and go, "You did it, boss."
Indeed, I did everything for my ambitions.
so, it's 2 years later. I'll let you guys describe how you got so wealthy and like what happened, but for the first time in 2 years, Nosferatu, you run into Sandra, healed now, as you meet at Jumblow's funeral. You're the only two there because you're bears.
It took it 2 years to arrange his funeral?
Yeah. It was hard. Your bears, you both had schedules. Life was busy. You didn't like him that much. But
Yeah, we had scheduled it weekly, but just one of us didn't show up each time.
yeah. But you're there. Or no, you're visiting the grave. Sorry, it's not the funeral. You're visiting the grave. I'm dumb. You're visiting his grave 2 years later, and there's like it doesn't have his real body, obviously, because that was like taken by animal control. But there's a little spot marked for him in the forest as you both meet for the first time. Feel free to describe, how you look and where you've been, and interact, and how you feel about the adventure.
I arrive with my royal entourage, like the fucking king from Game of Thrones. It's like a fucking parade.
Yes, you somehow continue to pretend to be the queen bee, and it worked. And there's like
No, it's different. I'm the Kaiser.
Oh, my bad. Never mind. Sorry. What were you saying, Sandra?
You really did it. You became the queen.
No, the Ber Kaiser, my friend. The Ursine Superiors.
And there's like 4 grizzlies around him. One of them's got like a scar across his eye. And they are like a lot more feral, and they don't have the same spark as you guys, but they like seem to obey his whims.
I need to get off the throne. Where are my human stirs?
You see Brian Pierce's son, Jacob Pierce, kneel in front of you to use the stairs.
Such a sturdy spine you have.
You break it as you walk down. He dies.
We need one of his siblings for next time. Take him away.
Yeah, Sandra, what have you been up to in the 2 years with your share of the profits?
I've been healing from my leg injuries.
Oh, I heard about
and working up the ranks as a janitor, and have now become the head of cleaning for Honey Heist 2024.
Impressive. Indeed. You've worked your way up in Sanico. You've stolen Jimmy's identity completely. And you are now like head of the maintenance department. You make like 6 figures a year. You do really well for yourself.
Excellent for you. I have the divine right of kings.
Yeah, that's nice and all, but do you have 100K a year?
Bring me the Hope Diamond. How much is that worth again, Montgomery?
One of the grizzlies brings you like a smashed up beehive.
How much is it worth again, Montgomery? He said 1 more billion.
Oh, well, fine, then you win.
It's not a hope, it's just a beehive.
You're too impressive. I can't ever compete.
Using the money from my many ordeals, I was able to buy this fur coat.
Really?
No, that's fucked up.
Alright. Well, you guys did it. You lost a dear friend, or perhaps someone you didn't give a shit about, but you stole the queen. Didn't make as much money as you could have, but you properly put her to work, and you both rose in the ranks. And that's the end of our story. Thank you guys so much for playing. How do you oh, sorry, what were you saying, Dune?
Oh, no, nothing. I was just saying that she was hooked up to the bee milking machine for the rest of her life.
So gross.
In Jim Blue's honor, we finally perfected the bee milking machine.
So, how do you guys feel?
I feel good.
I
Y'all
feel
have
feral.
fun?
Dude, my luck was awful this game.
It was pretty bad.
Not only did I have to resort to my coffee syringe to return me back to bearmanity, but I completely lost control and just fucking died. Like, I did not. Some of the requirements for like rolling seemed like very difficult once you get to those lower.
Yeah, I also was probably a little too excessive with like raising and lowering it, because it's when a part of your plan fails or succeeds, not every action. But the problem is you guys never made a plan. You were literally just like walking in and doing things.
I did like though that it was just every action affected it, because then like I had to just walk off the roof. I couldn't climb down, because if I succeeded, I just would have left.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you had succeeded, you would have basically fucked off, and Nosferatu would have been in that coffee shop all alone. Forever.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Like 8 years later, it'd be like, she's still coming, don't worry.
I just want my 700,000th cup of coffee, please.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys had fun. Thank you everyone for watching this filler episode, and hopefully Havoc Moon will be back next week. Is there anything you want to plug, TStaffor or Dune?
No. I had a good time. Thank you for running this one shot, Darnell.
Thanks for playing with it. Sorry that Jumblo suffered.
It's okay. It was his purpose in life. Just to...
Jumblo. Can someone make like a dramatic like JoJo art like Iggy in Avdol in the Clouds, but with Jumblo like watching over the two bears? Hamilton, make it happen. All right, and TStaffor, you have anything to plug?
Yeah, I don't think so right now.
What about your thing you told me about?
It's still just in the works.
Okay.
So, I mean, I have something coming, but it's still going to be in the works for a bit. So,
all right, DSCP chat.
Fully announce it.
Keep your eyes peeled. All right, see you guys. Bye.
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 Bye.